Hello, Contrarians listeners, watchers, subscribers. Here we are with another Contrarians warm-up. This is for our most recent episode. That episode being MOANA. MOANA, the 2016 animated feature from Disney, smash hit. And yes, this is timed so that it's coming out pretty close to when the sequel is coming out, almost 8 years later. Why a movie as successful as MOANA took this long to get a sequel, but I'm not complaining, because hopefully that means that they took their time and they're gonna get it right. Looks like
Chainsaw Massacre took 12 years, so
and they got it right, Alex? That's
they got it something.
Dennis Hopper get pushed into schedule, and in this case, it was probably The Rock. He was not ready to come back to voice Maui again.
He's been busy.
Yeah, I mean, he in his mind, Black Adam was going to spawn like 5 more movies that would require him to be 24/7 with the DCEU, but that's not happening anymore. So he has time for MOANA.
There will be, we will be able to track a lot of what happened in the career of one Dwayne Johnson, based on the fallout of that movie.
Yeah, I've only seen the tip of the iceberg, and I can already tell you that there may be a correlation between Black Adam and the fact that he's not only in MOANA 2, but also in the live-action MOANA. Gonna build up that cred again. Anyway, here we are with the warm-up for the first MOANA. We're gonna give you a few quotes. We're gonna talk about the trailers. We're gonna give you some trivia, and of course the Josh Gad Minute. Maybe not in that order, but we'll get there. So let's get to it, Alex. I got a couple of fresh quotes from Rotten Tomatoes. This is from Matt Brunson from Film Frenzy, who says, "Better than Finding Dory, but not quite reaching the level of Zootopia. The latest Disney animated effort of 2016 adheres pretty much to the formula we've come to expect in recent years from the storied studio."
I never saw Finding Dory.
I was about to ask you.
Nor Zootopia.
I knew that one because we briefly touched on that on the episode, and I am not a Zootopia fan. I think it's a waste of good voice talent, like Jason Bateman as a fox. And
wait, that's a Disney movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I just didn't think it was that good as much as I wanted to like it. Finding Dory, I didn't. It was one of those. By then, I was kind of firmly on the camp of, do I really need to watch Pixar sequels? And the answer is yes, sometimes. But I don't know about Finding Dory. Are you a Finding Nemo fan?
Oh yeah, Finding Nemo's great.
Yeah, so that makes it harder to get invested in a movie that is. There's no logical follow-up to Finding Nemo. Like, there's a logical follow-up to Inside Out. So when they say Inside Out 2, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. But Finding Nemo, what, he gets lost again? Well, no, Dory gets lost again.
You could argue like there's no logical reason to have a sequel to Toy Story, but they did it very well so that you didn't care not once but twice. Yeah, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, with the fourth one they were pushing it. So I don't know. I'm not in a hurry to watch Finding Dory. It's one of those sequels that I don't know that I've heard enough praise to where they convince me I need to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, it's like why? Like it's like if you made like a second Wall-E, it's like, how are you going to improve this, man?
Yeah, you get The Rock to voice,
I guess,
Wall-E. He learns to talk, and he talks like Dwayne Johnson.
Also, to be fair, a lot has happened since 2016 to make me not want to give my time to anything Ellen DeGeneres, is part of.
I was wondering if, Finding Dory is pre Ellen DeGeneres falling from grace, right? That was a big thing. I remember that was when I was writing for that website. So it was like 2020, like pandemic years, months. I don't know. But anyway, if Matt Brunson, if his ranking is Finding Dory, MOANA, Zootopia, I don't know that he can trust his. Even if Finding Dory is the greatest thing ever, he's putting Zootopia above it, so that can't be right. At any rate, I guess the point is, if you like Finding Dory, you'll probably like MOANA, maybe. And then the second quote, Alex, is from Rachel Wagner from Rotoscopers. Rachel says, "MOANA and Maui are as great as any of the classic Disney duos." Classic Disney duos, Alex.
What are we talking about? Say stuff like that. It's a good movie. Leave it at that. But then you say shit like that, and you're like, okay, Baloo and Mowgli.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's like Eva and Wall-E. You take into that, and then there's.
Would you say Aladdin and the Genie are the duo, or is Aladdin and Abu?
I mean, they're like a trio. I'm trying to, I guess there's not like a duo in Beauty and the Beast, but like there's, God, yeah, saying stuff like that, you're just like lining yourself up for immediate. That's the type of shit that exists. It's always existed. But people are so obsessed now in modern film, music, television of immediately making analogies or comparison to something from before that has stood the test of time, and this new thing is new. So people will immediately be like, it immediately makes people turn on things they shouldn't, or immediately have some kind of like animus towards it. Yeah, preconceived notions or animus that they shouldn't have. That's just a dangerous way of doing things. It's like, you know, back when John Lennon said the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, you know, like just pump the brakes, kid. In that case, he was actually what he said was true. So like this is a little bit different, but like Woody and Buzz, you know, we're talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need to
Elsa and what's her sister's name?
Anna. I think it's Anna.
Yes, Anna is Kristen Bell, right?
Yeah, no, it should be Anna and Olaf.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
but of course.
No, I think you need time. You need to give it what, a decade. When can you like objectively judge if something has transcended?
Something has to be remarkably special for you in the moment to go, holy shit. Otherwise, I think 10 years is usually a good like litmus test, or you know, statute of limitation, I guess.
I mean, we're getting close. We're like 8 years. So this is.
I can't believe how old it was.
Yeah. How long between avatars? How long was it between avatars?
That was 2022 that it came out, so that would have been 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, famously.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Tam.
You wrote off Avatar. You said no cultural footprint.
To be fair, a lot of that had to do with how fucking aggressively Jim came back on the scene, but and I was just like, fuck yeah, talk to him, Jim. I remember watching The Dark Knight, and I know that's such a cliche thing to go to, with like what I'm watching is something significant that will be talked about for a long time to come. And I don't know if there's been a movie since then I've had that exact same emotion. Even like, you know, movies that have won Best Picture. When we were watching Oppenheimer, I was like, this is fucking incredible, but I didn't have that same like, this is something that 100 years from now people are going to be talking about. And so like when people are so quick to do that, and you know, my whole Twitter personality is like jokingly hyperbolic, so I get like that's the type of thing that gets clickbait and sells. But you know, calm down. You don't need to. It's just say Moana is great. You don't need to compare it to fucking 101 Dalmatians or fucking Jungle Book, Snow White, any of the classics. You know.
In Rachel Wagner's potential defense, I don't have a date for this quote, so maybe this is from them rewatching Moana in preparation for Moana 2. So maybe 8 years from, you know, its release, she could have gone like, hey, you know, I think it stands the test of time.
She watched The Rock tag with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania this year and was like, you know, he's pretty good in this duo role. Maybe I should fire back up Moana and see how he does in that.
All right. Well, those were the quotes. Let's move on to trailers on the fairly new segment called Trailer Chatter.
A working title.
Yes. We're workshopping it. It might be called something else in the next warm-up.
This theater will soon bring you the greatest array of pictures ever to reach our screen. You'll see the finest stars in exciting performances. You'll thrill to the suspense, comedy, romance, and drama of world-famous stories.
Alex, I sent you the links. There was a teaser, then there was the official trailer, and I don't know if there were any more, but those were like the top 2 results. And then just for funsies, we did watch the first Moana 2 trailer. But let's go in chronological order. Were you surprised or completely unsurprised by the fact that the teaser is very Maui-centric and Moana shows up just for like a shot?
The theatrical trailer also, that was my main takeaway, is like, man, these things are pushing Dwayne hard.
Right?
And I get it. He's the biggest movie star of the modern, well, not the modern era in totality, but financially, he's one of the biggest movie stars ever. And he's never taken a single acting class. I saw Jeremy Piven, I guess, is doing stand-up now, and I saw him do a bit about The Rock. He's like, who can tell me the biggest movie star? And they're like, The Rock. And he's like, yep, never took an acting class. Do I sound bitter? Because I am. I'm doing stand-up next to a Dave and Buster's, and he makes more money than anybody.
All right. That just sounds like Jeremy Piven wasted away all his money from Entourage. That show went on for like 8 seasons and there was a movie.
Dude, the fucking residuals from Smoking Aces must not be paying the bills anymore.
Yeah.
Joking aside, I kind of get it, but yet, then when you actually see the movie, Dwayne doesn't show up till like in full, like he's not part of the movie until like halfway through. He's part of like the introduction,
Right.
the fuck, what is it called? Prologue. Thank you. Then he shows back up about halfway through the movie. And the other thing is too is, like I told you, the most surprising part about watching the movie was that he's not like the good guy. He's a bit of a tweener, and then he gets his redemption in the end. But this definitely paints it as like Dwayne's going to be a goofy, fun Disney hero.
Yeah.
And
You see him like throw her off the ship, of the boat. That's the one time where you're like, oh, he's kind of, they have that relationship, contentious relationship. It makes it look, especially the teaser, makes it look like it's about him. Like the movie's going to be about him, which is funny because you know that he's not Moana. So kind of weird. Also, on a smaller note, but also kind of the pig gets a lot more screen time. You would think, the Pooh is going to be the sidekick. You get like one shot, I think, of the
hey
the chicken. Hey. Yeah, I mean, you're really good with names. I'm just the animal. Another bait and switch. Pua misses out on the entire adventure. I do like, though, and I know you can't do this with every movie, but I like it when they get it to work with a movie, and that is when they create a trailer or a teaser that is made it's a creation just as a teaser.
Yes.
Like it has nothing to do with the movie, or at least it doesn't have footage from the movie or anything. It's just them doing a little short that introduces. So this is like the teaser is just Maui putting on a show for Moana and just, telling her who he is. That's cool. Like,
that was the original teaser for Spider-Man. It was like a clip that, well, now I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can find it somewhere, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
in between the two World Trade Centers, like that was going to be
Because I remember we had to pull that trailer, and then somebody has it because we didn't burn them and we didn't send them back. So
I don't know. I said World Trade Centers. There was the World Trade Center and there was two towers. But that's I know exactly what you're talking about. It's more common with animated movies, and especially back in this era, you would see it like they would almost make like almost just really shorts to be the teaser for it. I can't remember what happens in it, but the original Toy Story trailer was something similar to that, where it wasn't anything that was in the movie. And yes, that's always a way to win me over, is if I watch the trailer, I like it, and then I go see the movie and go, oh, none of that was in the movie.
Yes. Oh, Dwayne Johnson doesn't show up till half of the movie.
B-Movie, famously, their teaser trailer. You remember that? Where it was... Have you seen B-Movie?
A long time ago. I don't remember.
B-Movie's great, but...
so I've heard from
the
you.
Teaser was like the actors reading dialogue from it, but like wearing costumes.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Were they in Jerry's apartment?
Yeah. Michael Richards came in. It's like, this honey's going bad, Jerry.
WALL-E. Speaking of WALL-E, the teaser for WALL-E was nothing to do with the movie. It was about the history of them coming up with the story. I don't know if you remember. They're talking about how when they first created Pixar, they all had lunch or something, and they were discussing what their movies were going to be, and they're like, we talked about Toy Story and Bugs Life and blah blah, blah. And then they said, and the last movie that we talked about at that meeting was about this little robot that is cleaning the planet, and they give you the pitch for WALL-E. I don't think maybe you see the actual WALL-E at the end, but you just see I think it's like the images are like napkins and scribbles, pretending to show you what it was like on that fateful morning or afternoon when the original Pixar people got together to figure out their slate for the next 10 years. I thought that was cool.
The movie sucks, but the teaser for Terminator Salvation was kind of in that vein. There was stuff in that wasn't in the movie, and very good. Yeah. Good shit, man. Yeah, that's my main takeaway from these was
Dwayne Johnson was the name.
Yes, Dwayne Johnson is Moana. And I guess that's not. I always think of the Tarzan trailer because didn't they use the Phil Collins song in the trailer, and so
I think so.
that's kind of embedded in me of like Disney using the big song in the trailer, even though I know that's not. It's not like Toy Story had "You Got a Friend in Me" used in it or anything like that. So I was kind of surprised there wasn't the use of it, but then I had to remind myself that's not common practice.
They do put on both the teaser and the official. They do throw the Lin-Manuel Miranda name up there, like big letters towards the end. And I think they do the introducing, at least either the teaser or the trailer. The actress that plays Moana, Auli Cravalho, she gets introducing. So it's like The Rock rolls the red carpet, gets everything ready, and then it's like, and introducing. He gets the crowd excited. By contrast, because we watched the Moana 2 trailer, at least the first one. There's a second one that we decided to skip. But the second trailer, the trailer for the second movie, it's the opposite. It's like all Moana until the end when Maui shows up.
Yeah. We
knew that he was coming back, because I'm pretty sure we checked it when we were recording the episode, and just like we know he's coming back for the Rock's coming back for the live action. But could you foresee a movie where they don't bring Maui back? Just like a Moana sequel that's just Moana?
Yeah. At this point, I guess is the Trojan horse was Dwayne to like get audiences in, and they're like, all right, I already forgot her name too. Bless her soul. Auli Cravalho.
Yeah.
Cravalho. Yeah. She's fucking made woman now, man. Moana's a staple character. So, yeah.
Because technically, Maui's story ends at the end of the first one.
Dwayne, though, that money train ain't leaving the station without him on board. So, I think that's
right. But the question is, are we
UFL doesn't pay for itself?
Are we gonna get less Maui in this sequel? I don't think so, because I think that he's beloved enough that the character, I mean, not The Rock, that it makes sense. But I agree. I think that you could have had Maui just have a cameo or not be in the movie, and it would still work, because you're coming for Moana. I think Moana has a legion of fans that are just gonna go watch Moana because they like Moana. She seems to have a sister now in this sequel, which I'm not crazy about, because that has the potential to be annoying, but who knows? Maybe it's just a small character. The little pig, Pua, seems to be along for the ride this time, unless we were being misled again. And we get a couple callbacks. We get the little monsters from Super Mario, the Kakatuas or whatever they call them. Kakamora, yeah. Too many chainsaws, just the right amount of chainsaws, Alex, in this sequel trailer.
I think enough to get kids that were little kids and now are preteens or teenagers. I think they'll get their audience back.
I look forward to watching Moana 2 on I think Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know if I'll go that weekend, but if I can, I would like to. Definitely. I don't know if I was ready to watch it until I rewatched it for the episode, and now I'm like, sure, it makes sense. I just kind of have to follow through. But that's it for trailers on this warm-up, Alex. Before we go to trivia, it's time to cast Josh Gad in Moana, the Josh Gad Minute, where we remove Olaf from Frozen and we put him in Moana. Not as Olaf, but it's the voice of Josh Gad.
There's not many options here, man.
I mean, there's a big option. You could just kick Dwayne to the curb and have Josh Gad voice Maui.
There's the obvious option of that, and I guess maybe you can make him Tui, but then Jango Fett's got nothing to do.
I mean, Josh Gad can sing.
That's the point. You save money. You don't have to pay two actors here. Honestly, I think the most logical placement for Josh Gad in this is, Alan Tudyk's got that Wreck-It Ralph money coming in, so I think Josh Gad can play the role of Hey Hey.
Come on.
I don't know what else you're gonna do with them, man.
I mean, Hey didn't even need Alan Tudyk.
I guess Tamatoa is like the other big one.
Oh my god, that's genius. What's his name has all that money from
Flight
We
of the
Do in the
Conchord.
Shadows, and
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Jermaine Clement. Yeah.
Jermaine Clement, he's okay. He doesn't need the gig. Not that the guy needs the gig. I mean, he has all of money to burn, but
he gets to sing and be like sarcastic and
yeah.
The comedic delivery that only the Gad can offer.
Yes, I like it. Josh Gad is a gigantic crab. That's what we want. All right. That is Josh Gad Minute. We did it. We cracked it. Django Fett kept his job, and Jermaine Clement, went off to do something else. Before we close, let's go to trivia, Alex. What do you have for me?
Allegedly, not to go back and watch this, the genie's lamp from Aladdin can be seen on Tamatoa's shell. It's part of like the treasure that he has on him. So, and we talked about this in the episode, and we were just kind of like, okay, no one is named Starman, and
yes,
no one sings Just Dance, but like Lin-Manuel Miranda said the character Tamatoa the giant crab was a tribute to David Bowie. So I guess that's where that comes in.
Okay.
Cool.
I've been listening to the Moana tracks here and there since we did the episode, and whenever the crab song comes on, I was like, this has to be it. I mean, I can kind of hear the David Bowie of it all there, but I wonder, I could just be, maybe it's just we were not on the wavelength, but like how many people would have gotten it if Lin-Manuel Miranda hadn't gone on like a press tour telling everybody what the inspiration was?
It doesn't have the lightning bolt on its face or anything like that. I can remember. I don't think it does. I can remember. And the orange hair, and I think I'm pretty, I can't recite David Bowie's discography page and verse, but I'm aware of who he is, his trademarks, his songs.
I think at worst we're exposing how unfamiliar.
After I said, I think I called it Just Dance, by the way. So I just like outed myself as a noob. It's Let's Dance.
Just Dance is the game. It's the video game.
Is it? Okay. And Let's Dance, that's the one that has Stevie Ray Vaughan did the guitar solo on it. That's like my Austin, Texas. Like, I think that's like common knowledge now. But at any rate, I think I still wouldn't be able to call it out if it was like really obvious. So I guess that it's cool that Lin-Manuel Miranda says so, and then people can like pick up on it. Did you have Just Dance? I know you're a big rock band person.
No, because I never had the Connect, and that was the one that you need the Connect for. Well,
dare to dream, Julio.
I know. I'm too old for it now.
The tattoos on Chief Tui's abdomen are the same tattoos that were donned by the High Chief Peter Maivia, Dwayne Johnson's maternal grandfather. I don't know if I've ever seen a single Peter Maivia match. I know of him. He died in the early 80s, I want to say. So there you go. Cool. That's
was that The Rock give it an input on the design of the character, or was it the animators throwing The Rock a bone and we're like, hey, we're gonna surprise you with this detail?
I think it's the first one, but then he acted like it was the second one. Like he walked in with his camera in selfie mode, and he's just like, oh, no way, look at this. Dwayne Johnson believes that voice acting is the most difficult career in acting, and is personally annoyed when celebrities are cast in animated films despite voicing their characters badly. When Johnson was cast for the film, he repeatedly asked the other voice actors present if he was really giving a good performance. This is always, 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 always a slippery slope, high wire walking, whatever euphemism expression you want to use, of casting known A-listers or known actors to do voice work that doesn't always like pan out. There are way more examples of movies like Delgo and trash that just is like, hey, we'll just, this person has a name, have them just do a voiceover, and it doesn't really sound that good. Then there are Toy Stories with Tom Hanks and
Right. I mean, Delgo is kind of an
Alan.
extreme example because
Yes,
I think
but,
that you could put
that's my go-to.
yeah, but you could put like the cast of The Simpsons doing the voice for Delgo, and I think it would have just bombed.
Well, the point is that movie is like, you know, has 20 like name actors in it, and yes, Kevin Conroy, you know, you think about that, Mark Hamill, like it's sometimes the Dave Hayter, man, the voice of Solid Snake, when they did for the Phantom Pain, and Kiefer Sutherland took over as the voice of Snake, I was like,
Nope.
not the same. Like I know Kiefer Sutherland, I know you put David Hayter like in a live action role, he's not going to do what Kiefer Sutherland can do, but it's so I appreciate that. And you know, there's some I already made a Wreck-It Ralph reference, so I'll go back to it. I know the big thing with that was they all recorded it in a studio together. Like when there was like big like, group scenes, they would record it, and which makes it all the more impressive that it comes across the way it does. I think that's something that, especially by modern standards, is not truly appreciated. That's what made Robin Williams and Aladdin so special. Like it's yeah, that's an interesting tidbit, and that's a very humble thing to come from Dwayne. That's what makes that tidbit so interesting to me.
Well, I thought that it was funny because the way that it was phrased, the way that paragraph was structured, it sounded like he was saying, I can't stand when actors, like screen actors, come and do voiceovers, and then he did it. He does well. I think that he's the one time I remember hearing that criticism was, I think, for Happy Feet 2, which has, I think it has Brad Pitt and Matt Damon playing like minor characters. And I remember a review going like, why do you cast Brad Pitt and Matt Damon in these roles? I mean, obviously the answer is money, because people are more likely to go see a movie if they know that they're doing voices there. But yeah, I mean, there are people who do that for a living. There are people that do voices for animation for a living, and they're generally better at it because they just...
Yeah, I was about to say, I just dropped his name, but God rest his soul. There's a large percentage of people that consider Kevin Conroy to be the one true Batman over, like, you know, any of the live action actors that did it. So, you know, it's important work that they do. So Dwayne crossing over into the animated realm, step foot to Moana, that had a budget between $150 and $175 million with a box office return of close to $700 million. And having been to Disney World a few times since this movie was released, I can comfortably say Moana is part of the Disney pop culture, and the kids buy it as such, both figuratively and literally. Hey Hey and Pua are part of that as well. Had a cup of coffee at the 2017 Academy Awards. Was nominated for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. Lost out on both of those. Who did they lose to? Tune into the episode and find out. And then, because, you know, Dwayne's treated as the star of this, we'll close on... I was trying to remember in my head what he was doing in proximity to wrestling at this time. And I was like, he was nowhere to be found, in my brain, at least in my memory. And that turned out to be true. His last appearance before this movie came out is chronicled in our Rock Cena mega series over on our Patreon page, where he showed up at WrestleMania 32, had a contentious, face-off with the Wyatt family, and was rescued by none other than John Cena.
They walked off the ring together, right? Holding hands to the sunset.
Pretty much, yeah. They arm in arm, and they just did this, and then the screen froze and faded to black. And then, hilariously, the next time he appeared for the World Wrestling Federation was on February 20th of 2017, following an episode of Raw, an untelevised appearance, where he came out to explain to the crowd what was going to happen as they were preparing to film the finale of Fighting With My Family.
Of course.
So, all ties together. And then he was not back until September of 2019. He's been a pretty omnipresent portion of the show for the past year. So in my brain, I was like, he wasn't gone that long, but yeah, he was not around. Probably strategically so. 2021, he had this Disney movie coming out that was doing fucking bank. And then at this point, the WWF was a bit bumpy. And the weekend this came out, or I believe the weekend after this came out, they ran their annual November Survivor Series show, in which Bill Goldberg made his return and beat Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds, leaving a lot of people scratching their heads. So Dwayne, I think, made the right choice because this movie made on the better side of $1 billion, and then he still managed to, come back a few years later and make an impact. So this was firmly in the period of we thought Dwayne was gone forever from the pro wrestling industry, and more to come on that at a later time.
That was very naive of you, I think.
Well, no one ever actually leaves wrestling, but when we saw the type of money Dwayne was making and whatnot, and shit, man, who fucking knows? This Smashing Machine movie is either going to be like his ticket to an Oscar nomination or his Chapter 27. So we'll see what happens.
God, why do they have to be the only two options?
With the subject matter and the players involved, I can't feel this is going to be anything but incredible or terrible. I just, it would be more disappointing if it was just okay.
All right. So we record these in advance in case you lovely audience hasn't figured this out. If you haven't figured this out, I mean, it's as we record it's December. As we're recording this, it's October 24th. I'm literally like looking at the date and I still got it wrong. So roughly a month before Moana 2 comes out, Alex, in the roughly 4 weeks before Thanksgiving, do you think The Rock is going to appeal for a crossover audience? Like, he's going to try to use whatever he's doing in wrestling right now to drive people to watch Moana 2?
I would not be surprised if he's in the headlines for both, because this comes out the week of Thanksgiving, you said?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and the Survivor Series is that weekend, and based on trends, it would not be shocking if he showed up there. So, who knows? Rolling Stone, Time. Rotten Tomatoes does news articles, so maybe they'll be... Dwayne Johnson, star of Moana 2, shows up at Survivor Series to confront Cody Rhodes. Who knows what they'll say.
Dressed as Maui.
Dude, there you go. Like his insane character, this delusion champion shit he's doing right now. He shows up with the big hook, hits Cody with it.
Please, get it done. All right. Well, that's enough Moana talk. Of course, there's more Moana talk on the actual episode. So check your podcatchers or check our YouTube channel. It's all there. It's fresh on the Tomatometer, the first Moana. So, of course, we nitpick it to death on Contrarians Corner. And then we talk about our true feelings in real talk, which, based on this warm-up, you can probably guess they're pretty positive. I'd watched it before. It was Alex's first time. A lot of fun is had. So, watch Moana, listen to the episode, and get ready for our next episode, which is going to be a change of pace. It's The Pope's Exorcist. The one of the two very recent movies where Russell Crowe plays an exorcist, I think. I don't know which one is which. I just know that he's dressed like a priest, and it seems like a joke. It seemed like, when I heard about that movie, I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live sketch. But it's an actual movie that was released, and Russell Crowe was in it. And I don't even know if it's rotten or fresh on the Tomatometer, but we'll do it on the show. We'll do the thing. So watch The Pope's Exorcist if you haven't, and get ready for that too. But for now, we are done. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.